good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your guy Lord Walid. I hope you guys are doing great. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and share around as much as possible for the videos in order to help the channel grow and in order to help all the other ones that are wanting the wrestling business to be good again. Because mainly this channel is about wrestling stuff and how to fix it, and my takes on today's product. I was seeing on Twitter some things lately, and here's what saddened me. SmackDown's lowest viewership, 1,130,000, and yet people are still glazing. QB1, Cody Rhodes is a major star, and blah 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 blah. And you have also that big nose dunce being triple fraud. Instead of capitalizing on Roman Reigns promoting that pay-per-view, no, he posts Cody Rhodes. Cody is nothing more than smoke and mirrors and is a manufactured product, you big-nosed idiot. Why can't you understand that? Cody is trash, always has been, always will be. Yet, you see people like the USA Network page saying, that's why Cody's our champion, and look at your results, look at your decreasing viewership. You think people in their right minds would want to see someone like a mediocrity like Cody Rhodes? Sure, I will be fair. The guy is in good shape by comparison to some of Noseman's schmucks. That is a fact. But here's the thing with Cody Rhodes. They're fooling us, and they want to gaslight people into thinking that Cody somehow changed and he's become better and he's like this world's greatest superstar. Do you remember people blowing smoke up Brock Lesnar's butt? No. Do you remember people blowing smoke up Cena's butt, and yet you'll see Cena and Lesnar failing? Absolutely not. Because the guys like Lesnar, Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, The Miz, and all those guys are successful people. If you were to put them like in some acting role or anything of that caliber, they will do great. Because those guys are consummate pros and have a good work ethic. Prime example, the Make-A-Wish thing. Did you see John Cena bragging about, oh, I make tons of this and blah 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 to put himself over? Maybe it's in a way to put himself over, but him being a humble person and a nice person deep down, he does it because he loves doing it. Nothing more, and he doesn't brag about it. You don't see him brag about it on Twitter or anything. And here is why. I'm sure all of you have already figured out why I really have a high appreciation for John Cena. Anyway, I know this is not today John Cena's day topic. His awesome will be done on December 13th as a true thank you for him. Not the way that. Also, what saddened me was his retirement tour that has been completely wasted with that stupid heel turn involving Travis Scott and blah 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 blah. Just to get at the end of the day, people booing Cody Rhodes. And now all of a sudden, you're back with him as a champion, even though it was an absolute disaster. It led you, mind you, SmackDown getting demoted from Fox to USA Network. I know what a demotion means. It means from a channel that Fox was disappointed with the SmackDown's performances, and it was said, I remember, in the TWRP MISC channel, which I recommend quite a lot because those guys, NC and JC, big shout out to you and much love to you, brothers. You guys are the GOATs, because those guys have been saying facts, exposing how much of a detriment triple fraud is. And I remember I've been saying it years ago on my previous Facebook account, which got taken out and due to death threats from those stupid marks. I've been saying it years ago. Ever since triple fraud became a COO, you started noticing things going downhill. But no, people were like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. No. Prime examples, the COO thing. Yet people have the hypocrisy to blame John Cena for it. Sure, PG wasn't as great compared to Ruthless Aggression and Attitude Era. That is an undeniable fact. No one's denying that. But at least, and I say it and I stand by it, the guys like your John Cena's, your Brock Lesnar's, your Stone Cold's, your Hulk Hogan's, and all those all-time greats, what did they do? They took what was given to them, they ran with it, and made the most out of it. That's what a star should do. Not like Cody. I respect you. I need you. I appreciate you. What do you want to talk about? Looking like a snobbish version and more flamboyant Derby Harrington. Yet they're gaslighting you to thinking that Cody is great when in reality he's nothing more than smoke and mirrors. And I've been saying it time and time again. I even quote tweeted the picture multiple times of Cody Rhodes using the lyrics of Smoke and Mirrors, mind you. That's to those of you that know it. You've already saw it on Twitter. I'm pretty sure of it. And I also saw people comparing like what 18 years to 20 years ago, SmackDown's rating being in the 4 or 5 million viewers by comparison to today, and some marks were like, it's a bit childish, wouldn't you say? No, it exposes you that today's product is absolute garbage, and it shows you the working formula. Back in, for example, 2006, on SmackDown, you had people like The Undertaker, Batista, Kurt Angle, who else? Mark Henry, Randy Orton. You had all those guys who were major stars, and people that drew ratings. When you saw them, you'd be like, damn, I'm looking forward to seeing those guys again. Same thing for Raw. You had like your Shawn Michaels, your John Cena's, and so on and so forth of the Edge around that time, if memory serves me right. And even on SmackDown, you had like your Bobby Lashley's and all. You had on Raw, I believe, also Big Show, Kane. All those guys, you'd be looking forward to seeing them. Nowadays, who do you have? On SmackDown, you're going to have, if you're lucky, mind you, you're going to have Cody Rhodes babble on incoherently and have Randy Orton be his lackey when Randy Orton should be in the title picture. Either Randy or Drew for SmackDown, and for Raw, you should be having an LA Knight who's way more competent than all of Noseman's flunkies and his mediocrities. But no, people know. Noseman being the stubborn idiot that he is. No, I gotta put Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And look at how that benefited you. 2.3 millions in the ratings. And the people lying, I'm just the best it's ever been. We're the wrestling boom period. It's better than the Attitude Era. Those stupid marks will be saying those things. No, it's not. Never has been, never will be. Because here's the thing. And I know those marks were hating on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I'll say it once again, and I'll stand by it till the day I die. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, a.k.a. Vince McMahon, a.k.a. Mr. McMahon, is a legitimate genius as a businessman. Here's the thing. I know he bought the company from his father, was able to turn it from something that was like considered whatever into the global phenomenon. And how did he do it? With larger-than-life personalities like your Hulk Hogan's, your Ultimate Warriors, your Macho Mans, and so on and so forth. Sure, you need to have jobbers here and there on the roster, but at least you get some competent jobbers. Like jobbers that are at least, that look decent. You don't have mediocrities like Sami Zayn, and you want to present him to me as like some sort of world champion contender, when in reality, someone like Sami Zayn should be jobbing to a Kevin Nash, or to a Scott Hall, or like to a Kane, if Kane needs a squash match. Here's how it goes if Kane were to fight Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn would try and rush in, Kane would big boot him, would like throw him into the corner, rush him with a clothesline, top rope clothesline, choke slam, the sidewalk slam, choke slam, the end. And pin him 1, 2, 3 and send him to jobber oblivion where he belongs. But no, here's the thing now with Noseman. He ruins all the credible stars that have something there. Having like Brock Lesnar 2 or 3 years ago lose to Cody Rhodes in a way that insults people's intelligence. If you job out Brock Lesnar, let's say Brock Lesnar was to lose, the minimum and the bare minimum should be a John Cena. It doesn't go below. If it goes below, it becomes absurd. But no, you have him lose to Seth Rollins a few years ago in a way that's absolutely absurd, when you know that Brock Lesnar would like play with Seth Rollins. He would like make Seth Rollins his tribal you know what, much like the Boozos were for Roman Reigns. or his tribal you know what. Anyway, as an example, you don't put on shows pictures of uh, posters of mediocrities like your Rhea Ripley's, your CM Punks, your Pentas, your Seth Rollinses that don't draw a dime. If you look at posters from Raw in 2006 or 2005, you had people like Edge, Carlito, John Cena, The Big Show, Shawn Michaels, even Triple Fraud at that time, mind you. People that look marketable. For SmackDown, you have like Batista, The Undertaker, Randy Orton, I believe Bobby Lashley. Who else? Eddie Guerrero when he was still alive, God rest his soul. And so on and so forth. And here's the thing. People back then knew how to combine all aspects. How to do a safe style. I know injuries can happen in this business. It's an undeniable fact. But at least when being in shape and being built in a strong way, you can benefit from healing quickly and less likely to get injured. Prime example. And some people may not give credit to him, but I'll do. John Cena when he gets injured as an example. It doesn't take him that long to recover. If you noticed, throughout most of his career, I believe the one that took him like the longest was the one in 2007, the pectoral rupture or something, I believe. That was the one that took him quite the longest. Or the neck thing in 2008, around that time, I believe. But you get where I'm going. Also, the thing that I've always liked about the older guys is that at least under Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he made a culture of competent people. People that would do their job properly and that would be able to become massive successes. All the while, being grateful people. But with Noseman, what do you have? A bunch of happy to be there Hamanagers that don't have any aspiration for greatness. They're satisfied with mediocrity. And you have those incompetents lying to you. Oh, we're still in debt. We're still in debt. We're still in debt. Yet, can't you see that your formula isn't working? Like hopping on from sponsor to sponsor, turning it the show into nothing more but ads, and everyone wants to sell you something. You think people, when you force it down people's throats, they're gonna buy? Absolutely not. Sure, you can have advertisers and you have ads on a show. There's no denying that. But you don't have like 80% of the show mostly ads and 20 the other part, the 20%. You have them doing the other stuff. No, it does not work like that. And it's clearly shown. And you have to understand your market in any business. You do for the average Joe, the Mr. and Mrs. Everyone, in order to be sustainable and have a longevity for your business. Prime example, I know some dimwits told me, yeah, it's died, you should move on from it. Huh? Yet you same dimwits are on other people's channel commenting as it's okay. You find for other people to do the same thing. Huh? Ironic, wouldn't you say? Yet those people say they want my channel to grow and all. Huh? You really think I'm a dummy? Me being nice does not mean I'm a dummy. Imbeciles. Anyway. Let's go back to what I was saying. A longevity for the business, yes. Let's say, for example, yes, when you had people like The Rock, Stone Cold and all leaving, what were you gonna do? Huh? Close and go whatever? No. You still have some talents. You make the most out of what you have. It's the same thing as like for a car company. Let's take Volkswagen as an example, mind you. Let's say after they made the Mach 4, which was a massive success ahead of its time back then. What do you think they were going to do? Oh, we made the Mach 4. All of our engineers, get the fuck out. You're fired. No, the complacency. No, we made enough. No. People are still demanding Volkswagen, and they had a good reputation at that time. So of course, Volkswagen is going to continue. Will the quality increase? Probably yes, probably no. But as a business, you'll have to continue. Sure, they will experiment new different things. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. But that's the way life is supposed to be. You're not gonna settle for, yeah, oh, I made this and all. After that, oh. No, it's not how it works. It's a matter of common sense. Anyway, as for SmackDown, what I've been saying, same thing for Raw. You push the people that are draws and that are marketable. If by having NXT and you bring nothing more than a bunch of indie jobber schmucks that have learned absolutely nothing, you keep them the same way they are, you beat them up even more, and you bring them to the main roster, and now we're supposed to believe, oh, those guys are developed. No! NXT's main goal, as it was built previously, all those years ago, it was a developmental brand. It's always been this way, and it should have been this way. But no, Triple Fraud being the absolute brick in terms of creativity. No, what he does is, I'm gonna bring a bunch of indie jobbers because the nerds want them. And those same hypocrites are turning on you now. Look at you now, you big-nosed idiot. No. You turned on guys like myself and many others. You turned on us because we're quote-unquote toxic. Even though we want what's good for the business. And those fickle hypocrites, no, they want to ruin everything. Much like they did for many TV shows. But no, you want us, you want me to, move on from it, do other things. No, you want me to watch something I grew up loving back when I was a kid and in my teenage years, to see it ruined and do nothing about it? Huh? A bit hypocritical, wouldn't you say? Anyway, what I was saying about NXT and the performance center. What is the point of them being there when they don't do their jobs? Another waste of money. Also, a thing I've been seeing about the quote unquote creative direction. The main problem is Triple Fraud being a stubborn idiot, and his flunkies. They need to get the freak out of there in order to help this company and those price gouging morons that will lie to you. We're still in debt, we're still in debt, we're still in debt. How so? You quote unquote say that the sellouts, look at the attendances, look at the deals we're making, look at the logos everywhere. You're prostituting yourselves to advertisers. Something that Vincent Kennedy McMahon never did and never will. Sure, you have some sponsors, but you'll be the leader, you'll be the alpha. Something that Vince McMahon understood, and those incompetents never will and never did. And look at the results now. Oh, price gouging and all. You think people in their right minds would pay $1,000 to see a Seth Rollins? To see a complete mediocrity like him? Someone who dresses like a woman? If you show to any person, any sane person, you show them Seth Rollins, they'll laugh at you. If you tell them that guy's a champion, they'll laugh at you. They'll be like, that guy's a champ? Shouldn't he be a cross-dressing queen? Shouldn't he be dancing and singing Dancing Queen ABBA's theme song? Here's a fix for Seth Rollins. In order to make him more entertaining than this. I'm the visionary, I'm the vision, I'm the future. That's how you fix him. Turn him into, embrace his effeminate side and turn him into a dancing queen. And use ABBA's theme song, Dancing Queen, by the way. Sami Zayn for looking like an absolute vagabond. Here's how you fix him. Turn him into a vagabond degenerate that picks up fight with people because he doesn't want to improve. Simple as that. That fat neckbeard friend of his, Kevin Owens. Here's how you fix him. Turn him into Super Shitman and use Bullsy's theme song. Shout out to you, Bullsy. I hope you saw the reaction I did on your album, which is freaking amazing. Keep up the good work, bro. God bless you. I'm really proud of you. As for another one, if you keep those Hammond-eggers, here's how you push them. CM Punk, you turn him into a flimsy meth head who's depressed and is picking up fights with people for whatever reason because they're calling him out on his BS and his hypocrisy. That's how you fix a flimsy jackass like him. What else? Cody Rhodes. If you were to keep this schmuck around, here's how you'd fix him. Turn him into a flamboyant version of Derby Harrington. And have him be like, use his dashing side and all, and turn him into a more arrogant and snobbish version of Derby. That's how you'd fix those guys. Prime examples instantly. It didn't take me like less than a second to think of it. Huh? But no, man, he's like, everything's gotta be in the ring. I'm an uncreative, incompetent buffoon. I can't do my job properly. I gotta have a bunch of yes men and ass kissers. No, you idiot! You have to learn to put your ego aside and see what will benefit your company in the long run and what will ruin it. You have to see this. But no, what you do, how dare he be a bigger star than me? No, I gotta ruin him. Prime example would be the John Cena retirement tour, which has been absolutely a total mess. Here's how you should have done it. Sure, John Cena said it's his retirement year. As a thank you for his services and his longevity in the business, here's what you should have done. Sure, you'd have a nostalgia thing. Instead of thinking of the shock factor, I go for the pop and I follow with the flop. Because you're a primitive, mindless simpleton, Triple H. That's what you are. Primitive, mindless simpleton, incompetent buffoon of a booker. As I call you on Twitter. And I'm proud of it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care if any neckbeard comes at me and blah, 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 blah. You don't know what you're talking about. I'll slap the living shit out of every one of those retards. How about that? Anyway, that's not the topic at hand. Let's stick to the John Cena retirement tour. Here's how you should have done it. Cena has been like a face for whatever 20 years. You keep him as such. It's the best aspect of his character. Him being a babyface. You keep him as such. Sure, you're not gonna get the cool aspect of the thugonomics and the ruthless aggression thing. No. The one after thugonomics. The guy that threw Edge in the Long Island and blah blah blah. You're not gonna get that under those sponsors and all. But you could do something similar. Here's how you should have done it. Like, yeah, you bring back some of his best feuds, like, let's say, your Edges, your Randy Orton, even that flimsy meth head, as an example. A Brock Lesnar, you have, like, a reason for that match to be, or something it's called in French, une raison d'être, for the thing to happen and take place. Like, let's say Brock Lesnar, when he came back at SummerSlam, he destroyed the living crap out of Cody, and tell Cena you're next or something along those lines. And from there you capitalize. There you go. Like, let's say Brock Lesnar, I'm sick and tired of this freaking company and that big-nosed idiot and his booking, and call out the curtain, exposing things for what they are. Let's say you have Cena confronting Lesnar, and Lesnar going at Cena like, Cena, why the hell did you turn heel to beat this jobber that you would like defeat him with his tag team partner easily on your own in a handicap match, and blah 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 blah, and you go from there. Something that's way better than there it is. I gotta book for ESPN. And what did that get you as a grade? It got you a C, and they were generous. I would have given you an F or something below. Same thing for the Raw. But people will say, we're booming. We're in a wrestling boom. Period. The best product it's ever been. You're imbeciles. You're dimwits. You're morons. That's what you are, you marks. Not my subs. My subs, you guys are smart and you guys are cool. And the TWRP community, you guys are freaking awesome. That's how you should have done. And by the end of it, you capitalize on it, on building a new star. But no, that's not something he'll do. No. He's like, how dare you be a bigger star than me? He ruined Goldberg's retirement. Yeah, you cut off his speech disrespectfully, mind you. And you have him job to that emaciated turkey-looking schmuck, which pisses me off because I'm hearing apparently he's going to be the next one to the final opponent for John Cena. And what did that benefit him by defeating Goldberg? Nothing! You'd have to understand that Gunther sucks. And I remember having some mark on Twitter saying, oh, he's awesome, he's awesome. He's awesome at what? Boring people to death? Slaying the ratings? Being a mediocre wrestler that can't do his job? Oh, but he does chops, chops, chops. Every jobber can do a chop. It doesn't require you to be a genius to do that. Oh, he doesn't bust and crab. You can do it easily. These are basic moves that you learn in your first week in wrestling school. Let's say, what else? What else does this big nose show? A shitty powerbomb that even like, let's say, people would hate on him, but JBL's jackknife powerbomb is way better than that buffoon. And what else? He does. A shitty big boot. It's not even close to the Undertaker's or JBL's or like Kevin Nash's or like who else did a big boot very well? Like Kane and even Charlotte Flair did a big boot better than that Nazi emaciated turkey looking schmuck. And that's me being generous. But no, you'll have people, Gunther is the best, and blah 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 blah. Bangers. You offer him like an exorbitant amount of money. While you have someone like an LA Knight who's an absolute star. But no, you lowball LA Knight and you overpay Gunther. Huh? How is that logical, you big-nosed idiot? I know what he'll monologue if he was to tell me. But you don't understand, you don't know what you're talking about. Gunther gives me bangers and gives me takeover. No, what Gunther gives you is mediocrity, decreasing viewership, and a jobber moveset that enhancement talents would do better than him. He's a prime example of those guys that spent thousands of years in a business and learned absolute zero. Yet, I'm supposed to be amazed by him? Absolutely not. I'm not, and I will not be. It's as simple as that. Also, about even Cody Rhodes. The QB1, the North Star of the wrestling industry. I respect you, I appreciate you, I need you. No! We don't need you! Get the hell out of here, you stardust. You're only smoke and mirrors to us, and I stand by it. You're nothing more than smoke and mirrors. You're a schmuck and an overprotected one. Also, another thing that I was looking to say, as for the price gouging, Vince McMahon understood his audience and would have never price gouged his audience. And I know the merch and all wasn't always great, but at least it was way better than what you're seeing on Fanatics. Mediocrities for high prices. Yet what really baffles me is that those imbeciles with their mommy's credit cards, they'll still buy no matter what, thinking, oh, it's cool and all. You think people, if they saw a t-shirt of Cody Rhodes, you think they'll be like, that t-shirt is cool. They'll laugh at you. They'll be like, you support that dork? What the hell is wrong with you? But if, let's say, you wear like a John Cena shirt, or like, let's say, an LA Knights shirt, or whatever, or Randy Orton, or anyone of that caliber, a cool person, mind you, you'll be like, not bad, that guy's cool. But if you defend like people like your Cody Rhodeses, your Seth Rollinses, your CM Punks and all, people will laugh at you. You'll tell them CM Punk, they'll be like, who? Oh, you mean that jackass who embarrassed himself in UFC with zero offense against 2 enhancement talents. And in the second fight, he looked somehow worse. Against Mike Jackson, he couldn't even be on the level of that. What an honest-to-God joke. Yet he said, yeah, I've been training at Hank Fargo's gym. Yeah. And look at you. You got ridiculed by Mike Jackson. He was like, yeah, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. You think you're going to kick an amazing fighter like me? Gas him out in 3 rounds and finish him off. Even though Jackson could have finished him off in the first round. He was like, you know what? I'm going to toy with this fool. I'm going to gas him out. And once he's all gassed out, I'll finish him. And that's how any smart person would do. But no, you'll have people that will still defend him, mind you. That's what boggles my mind. But they will call you out if you like people like the cool ones I mentioned. Also, same thing for women's thing. About the Stephanie Vaquer thing. Sure, she might be good to look at, but if you look at things in all honesty and in all fairness and objectivity, the ram horns thing, that's a turn off. If you're any straight man and a God believer, that's a turn off. Second thing, the ridiculous tattoo, a satanic one. No, they'll come up with excuses. No, you don't come up with those excuses. It's not okay because in this life, God created us to live on, procreate, and all those things, all the while learning every aspect of life. Sure, you'll make some mistakes and all. It's totally understandable. It's human nature, by the way. But repenting and learning from your mistakes is a good thing. Not being stubborn and set in your ways and and not taking accountability. That's not something you do. The first thing I said, acknowledging your mistakes when you make them and learn from them how to fix them, that's the good thing you should aim to do. Plain and simple. Also, let's say something else that I was saying, that I was thinking about. If you want to fix this product and to have it good again, and get rid of all those fucking marks and those sewer mutants and those degenerates. Bring back the bra and panties thing. Bring back the marketable stars. Bring back the larger than life. Reduce the time of the matches. Because, the bangers, the matches, the work rate, the flips and blah blah blah. They don't draw shit. Look at the results. Decreasing viewership, long boring matches and all. People want to see stars, want to see marketable persons. Because by doing so, you'll make profit both. You and the guy. The guy will become a special attraction, mind you, and people you'll gain more eyeballs because if you make someone like, let's say, you capitalized on an LA Knight, as an example. If you were to capitalize on him, or like you were to capitalize on a Cross, someone like Cross maybe, and he would succeed becoming an actor or something along those lines, or like doing TV ads and stuff, they'd be like, you know what, WWE isn't as bad as it was a few years ago with the mediocrities. At least those guys are cool. And then you'll get more viewers and more traction. But no. What does he do? How dare you be a bigger star than me? No. You have Noseman opening everything like, are you ready for garbage? Yes. That's what you do. And the main problem that has been consistent for how many years is Noseman and the mediocrities he brought from NXT whack and old, which has been nothing more than a money pit. The fact it got destroyed by AEW and Tony Khan being with less experience as a booker, he destroyed him ratings-wise, shows you that NXT's formula is not working. Price gouging and blah 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 isn't working. Look at the decrease in viewership. Look at the decrease in attendance. And you're bragging about, 2 million in under a week, when you used to do it the day of. No. Open your eyes, people, and realize that when something isn't working, you stick to the working formula. It's plain and simple. You don't have to be an absolute genius to understand those things. I've said it multiple times and I stand by it. And as for the performance center and all, you see where your talent is good and where your talent suck. Let's take an example, like Lyra and all, for example. Yeah, she may not be good on the mic. You fix that. Sure, you invest in them. You make them better. Like even, let's say, Dominic. Yeah, I know you're not going to get much out of him other than being a heel and a cuckold. You're not going to get much out of him. But here's what you can do. Capitalizing from this quote-unquote, he's the greatest luchador and all. Here's how you should do. You have him steal matches and brag about it and being a heel or something along those lines. Or being like, I steal your mask, I dare you, you jobber. And like you have him beat luchadors and steal their masks. Or something of that caliber. Like you have him be the luchador destroyer. Or something along those lines. Let's say, who else? Braun Breaker. Instead of wasting him in this division thing, being a lackey to Seth Rollins, and left to fester and doing absolutely nothing, here's how you should build him. Do like, let's say, you have him like form a team that wants to lead something better, that lead the business into a better way. Not with Seth Rollins, you'll have him say, "I'm the future, I'm the visionary, I'm the revolutionary." And what's your vision, Seth? Huh? The low ratings? And what's your revolution? How to get there quickly and destroy them even more? Is that it? Hmm? Or like being an effeminate cross-dresser queen, bore people to death, and be more flamboyant, and stealing Becky's clothes, by the way. And you expect people, what really boggles my mind is that those imbeciles being TKO, they expect us to pay like an insane amount of money to see those mediocrities. No! Even if, let's say, they were to pay me. Here's how I would say. "You suck, you bitch! Give Becky her clothes back!" Here's what I would be saying, or I would be like laughing at them. "You mediocrity! You suck!" Here's how it would be. Or like if Cody was to show, I'd be like, "Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors." I would laugh at him and listing smoking mirrors. Or like, let's say, any one of those calibers. Or like CM Punk if he was to come back. Look in my... When the neckbeard would sing his song. Instead of saying a cult of personality, I would call him a tattooed meth head phony is what I see. And I'll say it loud and clear. Because that's what he is, a tattooed meth head phony. But no, you'll have people defend him. "Oh, he's nice, he's changed, he deserves..." What he deserves is my boot straight up his ass. That's what he deserves. You reward an unprofessional jackass like him, expecting people to gaslighting them into he's changed and all. What did he commit 10 years ago? More than 10 years ago. Something called a job abandonment. When you walk out on your contract and you don't show up to work. It's called a job abandonment. And you can be sued for it. But no, he's a prime example of what an unprofessional jackass is. If only like he committed a job abandonment and he shut up. No, he has to sue his friend, bury not taking accountability for his injuries and all, sue the same guy that helped him with a podcast, and all of a sudden, no, people still believe he's a good guy, he's changed and blah, 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 blah. No, he hasn't changed. He's still the same jackass. He's always has been. He always has been. Yet, those fools will still defend him. Same thing for Cody. In my video that I said about hypocrisy and entitlement. All Cody did was prostituting his father's death, doing absolutely nothing. I know what some neckbeards will say, but he won the NWA Championship. Wrestling who? Wrestling Nick Aldis in a nobody gives a shit match? Or like doing what? Being on AEW, blah, 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 blah. Prostituting his father's death. Oh, does he this, does he that, does he this, does he that, and crying like an effeminate? You call that something good? Oh, I have to finish the story and blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's something good? So your story is being your father's son. Huh? We are all our father's sons. That's not something new, Cody. Be original. Even Dominic doesn't do the same thing you do. And I did a sucks on Dominic, by the way. To those of you that don't know, check it out. Dominic Mysterio sucks. You'll have him be a chicken nugget. Anyway. Even like Randy Orton. Do you think Randy Orton, when he won his championship, he said, "I gotta do it for Bob Orton. Bob Orton was never world champion, so I gotta do it for Bob Orton." No, he did it for Randy Orton, Randall Keith Orton. And that's how you should do. Roman, when he won the belt, he did it for himself, not for Alpha or Sika, whichever one of those jabrones is his father. God rest his soul. I don't remember which one of them is, and God rest his soul. You don't see, like, let's say who? The Rock, when he won championships, he didn't win them for his father, Rocky Johnson. He won them for himself, aka Dwayne Johnson. Prime example. Also, who? Who else? When Dominic is winning Yeah, I know he won an IC belt. But he didn't say, I gotta win it for. I gotta win it for Rey Mysterio. I'm Rey Mysterio's son. You don't see him doing that. And Dominic Mysterio sucks. I know he's a good heel and all, but overall, you can't take him seriously. Yet he's more original than you. And that's a prime example of why today's generation is complete trash and complete garbage. And I will not be moving on from it until I gain more notoriety and I can help my guys, TWRP and all the good ones, like Heels Advocate, Interjohn, The Hater and all those guys, even the C-Jacks, for example. Big shout out to all of y'all. Much love to all of y'all. Keep on doing what you're doing. And you know you got my help, guys. It's my pleasure to help you guys and do similar content in order to help this business be cool again. We all want the same thing. And we don't want today's mediocrities to be considered like a high standard when they're not. We see things exactly for what they are. We're not fools to be gaslighted. God gave all of us human beings a brain. So what you should do is use it. And when you see something that doesn't work, you don't stick to it expecting different results. That's a prime example of insanity. According to Albert Einstein, insanity is when you do something that will lead you to a result and you keep on doing it expecting something else. Look it up on Google. A prime example of insanity, according to Albert Einstein. Also, as for developing, if you like why Vince McMahon was a success, how long did it take him to make stars? 2 to 3 years at most. Prime examples would be Batista, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, as examples. Even like a Randy Orton back then, from his RNN thing to the Legend Killer, which was a massive success. Bradshaw going from Bradshaw to JBL, Booker T to King Booker, and so on and so forth. Val Venus, the porn star gimmick. Who else? Like, let's say, who else was a giant success? What else? Let me see. Batista going from Devon's Lackey to The Animal and all. That was a massive success. What else? Eddie Guerrero's hit Lies, Cheat, and Steal and all. Those were massive successes. The Rock from Rocky Maivia to The Rock. Stone Cold from Ringmaster from Stunning Steve Austin to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kevin Nash from Big Vinny Vegas to Kevin Nash. Undertaker from Mark Calloway to The Undertaker. Kane from Isaac Yankem to Kane. What else? Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea to Hulk Hogan. And so on and so forth. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, as I said previously, in order to help the channel grow a lot more. And as for the requests, I've said it before, you know how it goes. Either in the comment section down below, and you'll get your proper shout out, or you can even message me on Twitter or give me a follow in my Twitter feed, which is available in the description down below in the links. So anyway, I hope you guys will have a good time and help the channel as much as possible in order to grow and gain more notoriety. And we'll be also covering other things all the while, but you know how it goes. The main thing is gonna be this, because I gotta help my boys, you know what I'm saying? I gotta help my boys in order to grow and make this business cool again, because we want it to be cool. And by making it cool, you have to do things that will eliminate those degenerates, the nerds, the gooners, and all those neckbeards and basement dwellers. That's what you should do. And doing so is going back to things that drew in the 90s and the early 2000s. Not sticking up to the Ring of Honor formula, the respect and blah, 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 which doesn't work. If it worked, those companies would be millionaires, something they're not. And also, another thing that will be this company's success is none other than the greatest of all time as a businessman, and all hail Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So with that being said, I'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.